How's it going, everybody? We're here with another Sports Block broadcast. We are here in Durham at Goodman Field at the NCHSAA final championship game of the 4A tournament. I am joined here by PJ Bellatoni, Anthony Reichman, and Taylor Ergel. We got a great matchup here today. We got two of the best teams in the entire state matching off here today. And both of them have great records, great talent. And it's just one to watch because this is going to be a great game, great series.
And Middle Creek has ended their season with a 24-7 stats, and the Hough Huskies had ended with a 23-10. And they're both second seeds, and this is the first year for both of these teams being at the state championship. And Hough is actually only 2 years old, and they didn't do too well for their first year, but they've really improved to get here today.
And, you know, a little fun fact here, this is the second year in a row that a Tri-9 team has made it to the state championship game.
Yeah, last year's victor was Holly Springs. They won the entire thing. They won this championship series in 2 games, which is always impressive. And I think we're going to have the teams line up here for the national anthem.
And, you know, one thing is good is that, you know, Hough, like Taylor mentioned earlier, last year was 10-15. This year is 23-10. So they really turned that around.
For the visiting team,
but this is going to be an interesting game to watch. I'm ready to see how Middle Creek is going to do, especially with Jimmy Boyd on the mound.
Yeah, and you know, one could say that maybe the Huskies have a little bit of a size advantage over us. I'd say a majority of them are taller than most of our players, but at this level of play, it doesn't matter how big, how tall you are, it comes down to solid skill and sheer willpower, especially in this championship series.
And, you know, the game, there was supposed to be a game before us, but it got rained out. It had poured. The weather got really bad for a little while. And now it seems pretty beautiful outside. It doesn't look like anything's going to be coming up, so we're pretty fortunate to be able to play tonight so we can finish up the 2 or 1 games tomorrow.
Yeah, and like Taylor said, we've been here all day.
No joke.
We've been here all day, and it's rained all day. It finally cleared up, I would say, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock. That's when they gave us the go.
Yeah, and you know, originally they canceled the 1A championship game, and they postponed it for tomorrow. But and originally this game right now is supposed to be canceled as well, but they actually called it off, and then they said, you know what, we can actually play this game today. So they called it back on. Everybody who was told that the game was off, we told them it was back on. And now everybody's here today. Middle Creek has great support. Hough Huskies have great support. And it's going to be a loud stadium today.
It surely is. I mean, you could hear it as it is right now. It is a red out for the Middle Creek Mustangs. Definitely have a lot larger crowd, I would say, than Hough. But then again, you know, Middle Creek is known for their Creek Crazies.
And Hough, I believe, is all the way in Charlotte. They're the West team, one of the West teams. So, you know, they do have a far way to travel. We're a lot farther than us, I believe. And, you know, we have just a lot of support either way.
Yeah, we're here in Durham at the American Tobacco District. And, you know, you got, it's a great city. It's a pretty good scenery. There's great restaurants around. It used to be the tobacco district of mainly North Carolina. So this is definitely a historic place and home of the Durham Bulls, a AAA team, I believe, affiliated with the
Rays.
Yeah, the Rays.
And it's actually funny to say because just a few days ago, Hideki Matsui was playing on this field. And now, you know, we got high school kids out here playing a championship game. The way this championship game, or this championship series, it's a best-of-3 series. There's a game tonight. And then we'll continue till tomorrow. First game is at 2 o'clock. Second game is at 8.
Should there be a second game?
Should there be a second game? It all depends on how tonight and the first game pans out. But, you know, I'm hoping that, the Middle Creek Mustangs can step in there and take it all the way. It'll be the first time in Middle Creek history that we can, win a championship.
Yeah, and, you know, like you said, great support out here. I'd say that the Hough side has mostly parents and a few students, but, you know, Middle Creek section, we got a ton of students from every clique, every part of our school. You got football players, basketball players, you got people who are great in school. You got everybody out here showing their support.
We even have kids out here, that have played on the baseball team in recent years, have come back to watch this game, or just watch. Middle Creek was way underrated coming into the season.
Yeah, no, they projected Middle Creek to be absolutely terrible, and I believed them at first. And then the season started. I think we started off with an 8 or 6 game win streak, and we just continued just rolling over teams. And here we are in this 4A state championship game, hoping to bring home the title.
Yeah, and going into spring break, we had won a tournament. And now we're here at the state championship. I still really can't believe it, but we're gonna go to our national anthem. So just give us a few moments, all right?
Was the playing of our national anthem. Both teams are going to go back to the dugout, get their stuff, and start warming up, and then we're going to be underway.
Now, their first baseman for Hough, Johnny Piedmont, he's committed to NC State. He's going there in the fall, and he just got Tommy John's surgery.
Yeah, and that's I believe that's a shoulder surgery. It can be make or break for some pitchers or baseball players, because either you bounce right back from it and you bring your velocity back up to where it was, you're back into your old groove, or it can really mess up how you played and how you're gonna play, just because you've had surgery, you've been away from the game for a while, you've been having to do physical therapy, and really gonna have to see. Well, we're not gonna have the pleasure to see how he rebounds from this, but there's something to know about him.
Now, we're going to watch the Huskies, get ready, watch the pitcher. Seeing him, he is one of the better pitchers on the team, as it says in my notes right here. He only has a 1.05 ERA, 64 strikeouts, and, 17 walks.
Yeah, and what a 1.05 ERA means is that he only gives up 1 run per game.
Yeah,
on average.
And you know what? You can't always say that it's him, because if you look at it, he's got a great defense backing him up. Your first baseman's 6'8". He's got to reach beyond days.
Yeah, definitely. And you can never, that pitcher's dominant. Well, the defense has to be behind the pitcher to help him make these out. You watch any professional league ball game, any no-hitters, any perfect games, it's not a pitcher just blowing it by everybody. Their defense has to support them if they want to achieve something that so few people seem to achieve.
And watching him throw the ball these past few throws, he's keeping it right down the line. So I'm ready to see how this game's panning out as Tyler Scholler steps up to the plate.
Third baseman Tyler Scholler.
You can just hear the fans go crazy in the background. And they're sitting on the opposite side of the ballpark.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere out here. We're at Goodman Field out here in Durham, and I think it's an honor really for both teams to be out here playing on a AAA field. Almost feels like they're semi-pro, as some have said.
as that first pitch was a strike right down the middle. Tyler Scholars knows where the ball is now, and I would be surprised if he swings away. And sure enough, line drive to short. Quick catch right there. The pitcher doesn't look to me that he's got that much speed on the ball, but he's got good control over it.
Yeah, I would compare him to maybe a Graham Edwards of our team. He's a left-hander. He maybe throws a little bit harder than Graham, but left-handers, their ball will tail away from you, and that can be difficult as a hitter.
And Jimmy Boyd is up to bat now, and he is the best hitter on our team. According to the stats, he has a .450 batting average, so he is definitely an all-around great player.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on here. He has 4 home runs this season, and that's a strike on the outside corner. But this field's a little bit larger in some dimensions from Middle Creek. You got the Blue Monster there in left field, which is really high. I don't think it's too deep, but you're not going to hit anything over that, especially at the high school level.
No way.
Yeah, you got the gaps are 375, dead center's 400. Only advantage maybe left-hander hitters have today is the short porch out in right field, which is only 325.
As Jamie will swing away right to shortstop again. Being that the field may be a tad bit moist, it could really put a dent on that ball going down the line. Even watching the catcher, I've never seen a catcher at the high school level run down the first base line to back the first baseman up on a throw like that.
Yeah, and that's something that coaches teach. It's what expected at higher levels of baseball. And guess what? We're at a higher level of baseball here today, and there's going to be high standards for both teams.
And Keenan Herring steps up to the plate. He's definitely the go-to guy out in center field, and he definitely can put his bat on that ball. So watch that one in for a strike. Counts 1-1. We got 2 outs on us. Looks like this pitcher's keeping up with his record.
Yeah.
Keenan will fly that one straight back. Catcher looks like he's got it, and he misses. So that's I guess you could say it was a nice strike of good luck for Keenan Herring right there. Catcher doesn't look too happy with himself.
Yeah, he. A little grunt of unhappiness, I guess.
So now Keenan's really got to protect that plate. Interested to see how this pitcher works on a 1-2 count, or even an 0-2 count, or a full count. We'll get to see it all tonight. I'm just ready to see how he works the mound.
Yeah, and you notice when Jimmy was up, and even we were watching him warm up, as Keenan lines that one down the left field line, but foul.
If he would have hit that fair, I'd call that at least a double, because it would have bounced into the corner.
Yeah, definitely.
And being at a high school level, you're not ready to handle a wall. You don't know how it's going to bounce off. You don't know any of that.
Yeah, especially from a strange stadium such as Goodman Field here.
As they get Keenan swinging on that one, he walks away with his head up. And
that was a rare occurrence. Keenan does not strike out very much. Regardless, the Middle Creek Mustangs go down 1-2-3 as the score remains 0-0. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When you come back, Hough is going to have their at bat. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block. Back with the Sports Block. Middle Creek is pitching now. They went down 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. And
as you see on your screen right now is our starting lineup. As Jimmy Boyd's on the mound. Looks like we got Daniel Sandiford back there as catcher. Austin Parker will be designated hitting today. You got Graham Edwards at first, Colin Pelosi at second, Diego Guerrero at short, Tyler Scholars at third, and our normal outfield, Blake Hunley in left, Keenan Herring in center, and David Salmon out in right field.
And it is absolutely loud out here. I can barely hear myself think.
And you know what? That's a good thing because you have a good crowd backing you up means that you're ready to play.
And up for the Hough Huskies is number 2, Sobo.
Yeah, when we heard that the game was going to be canceled and then put back on, we were a little bit concerned that we'd lose some of the crowd just because of how fast, the game canceled would spread, through social media, but does not seem to be affecting Middle Creek's crowd whatsoever.
Not at all, and as Jimmy throws that one right down the middle, fastball for strike 1. Caught him swinging. There's a second pitch. That one's hit to second. Pelosi juggles it. Still manages to get him out. All right, we'll put that first one away.
Yeah, and it looks like Jimmy's throwing exceptionally hard here today. We do not have a exact speed of what he is throwing, but you can tell he is throwing very, very hard, and you saw that as he was laid on the ball and hit second base.
And every time I've seen Jimmy pitch, it's always been just constant throwing, like very fast. And I don't think I've ever seen him pitch a very slow ball. It's always fast.
And now up for the Huskies is number 5, Buchanan.
As that one's grounded to short, Diego will throw it to Graham. Grab that out for another 2. And watching Piedmont, the man stepping up to your plate right now, swinging the bat, he's hurt.
Number 23,
He definitely is hurt.
Johnny Piedmont.
So I don't think he could put much power into his swing, which is good for the Middle Creek Mustangs.
Yeah, and Johnny Piedmont, 6'8", 235-pound senior, which is absolutely huge, especially at the high school level.
And Jimmy will throw that one. Looks like he tried to put a little spin on the ball outside for ball 1. One thing Jimmy has to do today is just stay ahead of the batters, make them hit the ball.
Yeah, and this, I think, is going to turn out to be one of the defensive pitching duels that we have seen Middle Creek contend with somewhat this season.
As he throws that one for a straight strike right down the middle. I like seeing Jimmy's fastball for my first time seeing him pitch.
Yeah, he is just amazing to watch. Very, very dominant, especially with his fastball. And, he does have a changeup. He does have a breaking ball. You mix that in, and he is a deadly combination of pitching.
If I was Sandiford back there behind the plate, my hand would be killing me right now. As he gets him swinging right into the crowd. That's over by us, but we got the net blocking us, so we don't got to worry about that.
Yeah, and if you notice there, he was extremely late on that ball. He just hit that off the handle. I'm surprised he even hit the ball, to be honest.
And like I said, he's got Tommy John surgery, so he's hurting as he swings for that one. 1, 2, 3 inning right there.
As Middle Creek strikes back with their own 1, 2, 3 inning, and that was great, pitching by Jimmy Boyd right there, getting the top of the order, start off the game and respond. And so it's the first inning goes scoreless. Middle Creek 0, Hough 0. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When you come back, it's going to be the top of the second. You are watching the Sports Block.
All right, welcome back to another Sports Block broadcast. And, earlier today, the 1A championship game was supposed to be held, and it got rained out. As you can see on your screen, the pulling off of the tarp, ready for our game here. There's, scraping off the water into the drainage system, which is amazing here because the field absolutely, it looks dry from up here. So we're going to step in as we have Austin Parker at the plate, who will bounce that one down the third base line for foul.
And, Austin Parker is usually one of our stronger hitters. Hasn't been, he's gotten a few hits here and there, but hasn't really been producing as much as I think somebody would expect him to do, especially being the number 4 hitter in our lineup.
And, he's the designated hitter tonight, which I haven't seen much of watching and broadcasting the games. I've always seen him behind the plate. I guess it's, they wanted to change behind the plate. And they got that, as that one's for a called ball. counts 1-1. Austin really, he's not producing big hits, but he does get, nice in the gap shots.
Yeah, he is definitely capable of that. And he's also very capable at defense. I'm not quite sure why the change at catcher in the field. But, Daniel Sandiford is also a great catcher, not taking away anything from Austin. And maybe a strategical move by Coach Thompson, maybe allowed Jimmy to board as he's usually DHing, Jimmy Boyd to hit as he is usually DHing for somebody else.
As Austin will take that one in the knee, walk the base. We got a man on first now. Being that this guy is a lefty pitcher, if he has a pickoff move like Graham, it's over for him.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Number 12, David Salmon's up to bat for Middle Creek.
Yeah, Middle Creek runners are going to have to keep tabs on what this pitcher does, especially since he is a lefty. You're not going to want to start off with a big lead just so you can see what he got.
And David will ground that into double play range, and they'll get the double play.
And Hough Huskies fan support is very, very loud.
And you know what? The Huskies are a strong defensive team. They turned 3 double plays in the final regional victory over East Forsyth, or Forsyth, I'm sorry. But they turned 3 double plays in one game.
Yeah, and that's all about fundamentals, knowing what to do, because at this level you are expected to make double plays on balls like that.
Second base.
As he gets up on Colin with 2 strikes
And
early.
Colin's been on fire. I think he's been one of the more underrated players on the Middle Creek baseball team, but he's been getting solid hits throughout, the entire playoff series.
And Colin, he looks like he's favoring the outside pitch tonight. As we watched all the Middle Creek players walk into the field, they all had the hugest smiles on their faces. They're not here, win, they're here to have fun. As Colin will strike out on that 1-2-3 inning yet again.
Yeah, and that's going to be it for the Mustangs in the top of the second inning. When you come back, it's going to be the bottom of the second inning, and Hough is going to have their second attempt at batting. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block.
Recognizing excellence.
Back with the Sports Block is the bottom of the second inning, and we are here at beautiful Goodman Field here in Durham in the American Tobacco District, and it is a beautiful night out here tonight.
There's a lot of historic background here, but we're going to get back to the game. Watching Sandiford throw the ball down, he doesn't have as much control as Austin Parker does, because Austin doesn't have to leave his knees. But Jimmy definitely has control on the ball. I don't think we're going to really have to worry about too much stealing going on tonight.
And number 17, Settles, is up to bat. He's the DH for tonight for the Hough Huskies.
And I think Middle Creek's strategy here is going to be to play some solid defense and throw some great pitching, because as you saw the last 2 innings, it's only their first time around, but pitchers, they've gone down 1, 2, 3, 2 innings in a row.
Yep, and Jimmy will get that one on the outside corner for a strike. Did he go?
I think he went.
He went. Oh, and he calls it a ball. All right.
Ooh, I don't know about that one. He's going to appeal it on to first base.
And they're still going to call him safe. It definitely, I got a better angle than you would, Will, but definitely looks like he swung on that, but
He tried to cover it up,
as he's going to ground that to second. Pelosi will get it.
Yeah, and that one was right off the hands. It didn't even sound good coming off the bat. It sounded almost like a wood bat, and we are using aluminum. So, Hough Huskies, they're going to have to start getting their hands out earlier, starting their swing, sooner when the ball is leaving Jimmy's hand as opposed to when they're swinging right now.
And now the catcher, number 20, Daddio, is up to bat.
And Jimmy will catch him on the inside high. Jimmy pretty much just told him back off the plate.
Yeah, and I've seen it happen several times where a ball will actually hit a batter and they will swing just because it is difficult to track, where a 90-mile-per-hour fastball is going on the plate.
And Jimmy just showed him what the curveball is right there. Didn't even lift his bat as that one crossed the plate for a called strike 2.
Interesting to see what he's going to do here. Looks like they're going to throw a high fastball.
And, a high fastball, especially because he went at that first high pitch, you can never go wrong with a high fastball.
Yeah, especially with no balls. You do not want to give anything they can hit in the strike zone when they have 2 strikes on them.
And he's going to foul that one out, way out of my sight.
Yeah, he was, as you saw, extremely late on that one. That one, again, off towards the hands. And Jimmy's just blowing them away right here.
Jimmy's making him put the ball in play, making our infield work.
Ooh.
And he's going to get him on that.
Caught him looking.
Strike 3, and, Jimmy's not something to mess around with. Named Player of the Year.
Right field.
I'm guessing for the county.
In the Tri-9.
Or the Tri-9. He's one great player.
And now up is number 10, Bernardo.
And we got a lefty batter on a righty pitcher. I haven't seen that happen with Jimmy yet, but it won't phase him as he throws that one right down the middle for strike 1.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Jimmy is going to Brunswick Community College next fall.
Yep. The only problem is that he's not going to be able to play his first year because he has to get shoulder surgery. But I predict him going pro within the next 3 years, 2 years at playing at Brunswick, because that's normally what happens when you go to that school. As Jimmy will get him on a called ball, number 2. It counts 2-1. Jimmy has to get ahead of him on this one.
Yeah, and if you notice, or not if you notice, but you don't have to go to a big-time 4-year college to really compete with baseball. There are several community colleges around the school that are known for their baseball programs, and Brunswick was one of them.
And the blue behind the plate is giving Jimmy no help whatsoever. It's a 3-1 count right here.
In baseball slang, blue is another word for the umpire, which we have 4 of out here today. Typically, we only have 2, but I think they want to get the best officiated game they can possibly have for this high school championship series.
As Jimmy stays cool with the fastball. Now it's a full count. I think he'll rely on that fastball again, if not a curve. Try to get him swinging over here.
Yeah, and if you've noticed...
And he got him swinging outside and high.
He's done just that. So, again, Hough Huskies go down 1-2-3, as have the Middle Creek Mustangs. Score is still tied. When you come back, it's going to be the top of the 3rd inning. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching the Sports Block. And we are back with the Sports Block. It's the top of the 3rd inning, and Middle Creek is going to have their 3rd opportunity to bat here after going down 1-2-3, 2 innings in a row.
And this is going to be a tough game. Definitely 2 innings in a row. We haven't seen more than 3 batters, so.
And number 4, Diego Guerrero, is up for Middle Creek, and he's a freshman that's been doing very well up on the varsity team this year.
He fouls that one back at us as it's going to roll down the net.
Yeah, Diego is very great defensively, and he also has hitting capabilities. As I've said numerous times, he has the hitting. It just has not been dropping for him, as you see right there.
That one would have hit off the wall if he would have kept it fair. He's swinging a little too early, I guess you would say, or he's just pulling the ball too hard. He definitely hits it in that gap. He's guaranteed a double.
Yeah, you know, compared to Hough Huskies shortstop, he's actually, you know, a little bit small for the position, I would say. Can't really, you know, stretch out, dive for balls, but that has not stopped him at all. He is quick, he can get to the ball, and he can make plays.
And he's going to ground that down the third base line. Definitely doesn't have the speed to beat that one out, as it's an easy routine ground ball for number 12.
Now batting, number 5.
And, you know, this
Eric
isn't a position.
Seiler.
This isn't a position that Middle Creek is normally in. Usually, I remember like last week they started the game, you know, quickly down 2-0, giving up those 2 quick hits. Was it a home run last week?
Yes.
It was a home run. They gave up a home run early, and they found a way to rally back from being down 2-0, and then they ended up winning that game 8-2. So.
And now up to bat now is number 5, Graham Edwards, who is another one of our great pitchers.
Yeah, Graham has led the team in pitching victories. He has 8 wins, a 1.75 ERA with 68 strikeouts.
He's not the strongest batter on the team, I guess you would say. But he is a great pitcher.
Up next,
Amazing
number 7,
pitcher. I wouldn't be surprised next year he's got, you know, scholarships rolling through.
Yeah, I think I can say undoubtedly that Graham will be our ace next year when Jimmy goes to Brunswick College.
As Blake Hunley swings at the first one, pops that straight up. Middle Creek really needs to get it together. They need to get out of this rut as it's another 1-2-3 inning.
Yeah, and you know, we got top of the order coming up next inning for Middle Creek. But right now we
We
got
remind everyone in attendance today.
Hough Huskies coming up to bat in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching the Sports Blog.
As you can see here is a waterfall just outside of Mellow Mushroom on the American Tobacco Road. Very historic over here. We're at the Durham Bowl Stadium playing our championship game against the Hough Huskies. Easy, you know, 2.5 innings right here. 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Really can't say much about him except for great pitching.
Number 11, Eric Seiler.
Sorry, go ahead.
Shortstop.
And you know, no one's even, I think, touched the second base yet. It really shows how good both of these teams are.
It shows why they belong in the championship game.
Yeah, you know, at home, everybody loves watching a slugfest. Everybody's hitting home runs left and right. But I think the only thing that can compete with a slugfest is a pitching duel, which is what I think we're going to have here today.
Well, as that one's hit straight to Blake Hunley, he didn't even have to move for that one. I don't think anybody's going to be touching second base today.
It doesn't seem like it, at
Up
least.
next,
If we don't want to be here until 12 o'clock in the morning, then I think somebody's going to have to score eventually.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
now up is number 12, Altamira.
And he's a shorter player, as he's going to ground that one down the first base line for foul. I think that's their shortstop, if I stand correct.
Yeah, and you know, looking at size, he's actually 6 foot, and saying he's one of the shorter players is really saying something about the size of this team, because
Yeah.
he actually does look a lot smaller than everybody else.
It really does.
And he's going to hit that one back towards the catcher. Sandiford's going to barehand it. Strike number 2. You know, usually when we broadcast a Middle Creek game, we're all interested. We're all, you know, we're ready to see what's next. But compared to these last 2.5 innings, you know, it's just the same thing over and over. As we get him on a called strike 3, 2 outs.
Yeah, and you know, this is going to be something that both pitchers are going to brag about going into college. You know, Jimmy, this is his last series as a Middle Creek Mustang, and as of right now, he is absolutely dominating these Huskies.
And number 4, Champion, is up.
And we have a bad habit of interrupting each other here at the Sports Block. We got 4 commentators here today, so having everybody come in and say something can be a little bit difficult.
Catches him on that one, called strike 1. Jimmy's really showing them why he is one of the best players for Middle Creek on the mound.
And the best player in the Tri-9.
As that one's grounded straight to first, flips to Jimmy. Easy out right there. Ends the inning. 1-2-3 yet again.
Yeah, when we come back to the top of the fourth, Middle Creek is going to have their 1, 2, and 3 batters up. And then at the bottom of the fourth, Hough is going to have their 1, 2, and 3 batters up. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching the Sports Block. And we are back with the Sports Block. It is the top of the fourth inning, and neither teams have any hits so far. Middle Creek has their 1, 2, and 3 batters going here, so we're going to see if they can't get something brewing.
And all we really have to do is get the Tyler Scholars on second base with Jimmy or Keenan at bat. And, watching in the past recent games, when that happens, it's a guaranteed run.
Yeah, it just seems like it. And, keep in mind the order of the Middle Creek Mustangs has already gone through and seen this pitcher, so they're going to have to make adjustments and really start taking advantage of their prior at-bats.
And number 21, Tyler Scholler, is up at the top of Middle Creek's lineup.
Yeah, and we actually have a field crew, it looks like, out here today. They just rake the field, which is, always helpful as an infielder to prevent bad hops.
And if you look at the second baseman, he's playing real deep. He's playing in the grass.
Yeah, watching the second baseman during warm-up, I was very impressed with his speed and his ability to get the ball out of his glove at a very fast pace.
And that one's a called strike one on Scholler. He looks like he's staying with the off-speed pitches over here. Definitely haven't seen many fastballs thrown down the middle. Just as I speak right there, hit to second base. Easy routine ground ball for number 2, Sobo.
Up next.
And it seems to me like this pitcher is trying to throw it in the same spot every time. It looks like he's trying to get it in the middle or the top of the plate.
As Jimmy steps up the plate, and I want to see Jimmy crush the ball. He does it every game. He definitely does. But right now, we haven't got nothing. And he's going to foul that one back at the dugout.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
It's kind of funny because we're only a half hour into the game, and we're almost through 4 innings.
Yeah, and since we've been here all day, for seems like hours on end, this is almost going unbelievably fast for us.
I feel like this could, just be a 1-0 game, just one hit, anything.
It's going to be a tough series for Middle Creek to handle, without a doubt. And Jimmy's going to foul that one straight back. Hits the net, thankfully. We have a lot of fans out there, as that one's going to stay clinched to the net, not coming down. Jimmy really has to stay alive here. It's a 1-2 strike. We do have 1 out. Jimmy just needs to get a hit.
Yeah, and Jimmy, whether it be a single, a double, triple, home run, whatever it be, when he gets hits, it comes off the bat hard. And when it comes off the bat hard, you will see the Middle Creek dugout spring up with excitement and whatnot. And that's definitely a morale booster, something to keep everybody's heads up.
As Jimmy's going to one-hop that into center field, we do have a runner on first base here. Now it's up to Keenan Herring to see if we could drive him in just like we did right before our last playoffs bout. Was it against
Richmond County?
Was it against? It wasn't against Richmond County.
What are you talking about?
The game before we started with Richmond County, when Jimmy was on first base.
Millbrook.
It was against Millbrook. when Jimmy was on first base and Keenan hit him in for the win. As Keenan's going to shoot that one deep right to center field, and Jimmy's just going to stay where he's at. Austin Parker really needs to show
Next up, number 10.
us what he's capable of doing.
Austin Parker.
Being the designated hitter, he's not going to be, working too hard out in the field because he's not out there. He just needs to get the bat on the ball, get it in play.
Yeah, and Jimmy had the first hit of this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it stays like that unless Middle Creek starts to step up a little bit here.
Austin's going to watch that one for a call strike, and Austin, being one of our taller players on the field, doesn't have, a small strike zone like Colin Pelosi, but neither does half of Hough's team. And Austin will hit that one down the third. It's foul.
He looked like he had the same hit last time he had in that bat.
He surely did. He needs to swing a little bit earlier. Definitely move in on the batter's box. He's too far back. That's why he's pulling him towards third base. If he could hear me, I'm sure he would take my tip because he wants to get a hit. You could see it. Any player wants to get a hit.
Yeah, especially with Austin, this being his last series as well. He's a graduating senior. And, he hasn't been hitting, as we've said before in the playoffs. He's been doing, a decent job, but he hasn't been performing as I think he would like to.
As that one's a called ball one. Looked definitely like a strike from up here.
Yeah, it looked like it might have crossed the strike zone a little bit low. I'm not sure. Regardless, it's now 1-2.
And Austin's definitely got to protect the plate here.
Jimmy gets a huge jump right there.
And, this is a routine play. As we are retired, and our first runner has met second base.
I guess so. When we come back, it's going to be the bottom of the fourth. Hough's team is going to have their 1-2-3 batters up and maybe strike back with a hit to match ours. So you guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block. And we are back with the Sports Block. It is the bottom of the fourth inning, and Hough is up to bat. They have their top three hitters up, 1-2-3. And so far, they do not have a hit this game. Middle Creek got their first one, and Jimmy Boyd hit a line drive in the center field. Still no run so far, so again, going to be a pitching duel, and it's going to be up to Jimmy and the opposing pitcher to really keep things under control here.
And looking at Jimmy, he's got the eye of the tiger right now. As Tyler Shoulders will make that throw from his knees, go for the first out. What a great play.
Send that one into Sports Center top 10. That was an amazing play.
And Jimmy just looked at him and said, "Thank you. Let's make this a no-hitter."
Next up.
And, great effort by Tyler. He has a good arm, but I didn't think he was capable of throwing a man out on his knees, and he did it just there.
And now up is number 5, Buchanan.
And even better, that was Hough's number 1 batter leading off. And typically they have the most speed on the team, so, great play.
And, you just seen Jimmy pitch that strike right there. Definitely got more hyped up after that play. He's throwing the ball harder. More movement on his curveball for strike 2.
Yeah, if you notice on that curveball, looked like the hitter was a little bit fooled there. Namely because Jimmy, when he throws his off-speed stuff, he does not slow down his body motion, which a lot of pitchers will do. He looks like he is about to throw a fastball, and it comes out a lot slower and a lot different place than what hitters might expect it to.
As we'll make this a 2-out inning already. We might go 1-2-3 again.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the fourth with 2 outs. Game time started at 8 o'clock. It is now 8:37. So
8:37, and we're more than halfway through a 4th inning.
And I don't think I've ever seen these innings go by so fast. I know a couple weeks ago, we had an inning that just seemed like it lasted forever. It was, I think, one of the first games of the playoffs. It just went on for, it seemed like an hour.
You got Jimmy out here. He's mowing them down left and right.
I think it's fair to say, as of this far into the game, he is just dominating the batters.
He's rarely do you see Jimmy slow down his body movement, which is good because he's fooling the batters. His pitch speed is staying where it is. He's just keeping it over the plate, making them work for the ball.
Yeah, and as we've mentioned earlier, he has to get shoulder surgery at the end of the season this year. And it doesn't look like he's in any pain whatsoever. He's just absolutely rifling the ball down the plate.
And if you do notice, when he goes to the dugout, he puts a towel with ice wrapped in there. As Johnny Piedmont, the one who did get Tommy John surgery, fouls that one off the right field line. It's now a 2-1 count. So Jimmy, it's 2-2. Okay. So Jimmy's got him tied up here. Just get one more strike to end this inning. As he's gonna foul that one back, untraceable. Nobody's gonna catch that one.
That one, he was like just like his last at bat. He's extremely late on that ball. I think Jimmy has him guessing here with his off-speed and fastball pitches.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy keeps it low and inside. As he just hangs that one over the plate, it's fouled, hit straight up. Collins calling it. 1-2-3 inning yet again.
And Middle Creek Jimmy Boyd just absolutely dominating here out on the mound, out here in defense. Great play by Tyler Scholler over at third base. So after 4 innings, still scoreless, only 1 hit from Jimmy Boyd. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When you come back, it's going to be the top of the 5th. You are watching the Sports Block. Welcome back to the Sports Block. As you see right now, we do have very beautiful, historic pictures from the American Tobacco District, which makes baseball more enjoyable as you come out here. And, after we come back from each break, you will see different pictures of this historic sites.
Right fielder, David Sumlin.
And, and like you've said before, baseball is America's pastime. It has been loved by the country since it was first, played early on, maybe in college, whenever it was invented, and still here today. 2012 is still one of the most popular sports in America.
And number 12, David Salmon, is up.
He's going to hit that one. Looks like a little miscommunication there between left and center field, but it was caught. If David would have put it a little bit more down, not hit it as up, you knew he was going to get at least a second off of that.
Second baseman, Colin Pelosi.
Now number 2, Colin Pelosi, is up to bat.
Yeah, on balls like that where there might be a little bit of miscommunication, there's a little bit rule of thumb that anything that the center fielder and left fielder are kind of sort of under, center fielder always has jurisdiction over catching the balls. He's supposed to take command.
Exactly. And, Colin, like you said earlier, very underrated player coming into the season or even into his high school career. But he's really shown us, he's shown everybody who's ever watched a sports block broadcast, anybody he's ever played against, that he is definitely out there, one of the better players on the Middle Creek team.
You know, Colin's only 5'9", 140, and you know, I guess it's safe to say that he's a little bit undersized here in the championship game series in this high school playoff. But you know, so far not much of Middle Creek has been hitting at all, so I don't think it'd be fair to judge his first out early
Definitely
in the game.
not. And he's going to wash that one. It's going to be a full count here, so he's got to swing away pretty much at everything except for something that is completely uncalled for that you wouldn't be able to hit. And he's going to swing away, foul that one straight back. It's going to hit the awning. Very loud bang over here. It may roll down, so everybody look up.
No, it's the awning is built where it rolls back. I've learned that over the years that I've came to the Durham Bulls games.
It's a good thing, though. You don't want to get hit with one of those stray foul balls, as Colin will take his walk.
Colin Pelosi, one of the smaller kids on the team, as I said earlier, has a smaller strike zone. It is a little bit more difficult for pitchers to throw into his strike zone, which is where the umpire feels that it would be a ball that the hitter could hit, and takes advantage of it there and draws the walk.
And, you know, Diego just stepping up to the plate, his last his last at-bat, he was hitting it, you know, foul left. If he just keeps control and hits it into that left corner where it just bounces on the inside of the foul line, he's got a guaranteed double and a guaranteed run by Colin Pelosi.
Colin steals, catches him off guard, and he's going to be safe.
I don't know. We haven't gotten a call from...
Yeah, typically when the umpires do not make an immediate call, it's usually that the runner was in there safely without much doubt.
And, you know, Colin being as fast as he is, it's going to be hard for anybody to throw him out.
Yeah, and if you saw earlier, the pitcher tried to pull a fast one on Colin over at first base. Colin is back safely. Catcher has a great arm, and he still managed to steal second base.
I'm sorry.
This is a first. Someone's actually on second base. First time after 4 innings.
Middle Creek still only has one hit as Colin drew the walk, and that looks like a balk right there.
Yeah, definitely. One thing, if this pitcher does try that again and overthrows it, Colin's got a guaranteed third. So, I mean, he's got to be careful with his throws, especially because the center fielder didn't look like he was pretty much backing him up right there. As Diego will foul that one back, he's got a 1-2 count on him. He really needs to get this ball in play, advance Colin to third, or at least get you know, a nice shot in the gap where Colin will score to bust this game open, pretty much to say.
And, you know, as we've said numerous times, Diego is a freshman. And he
and it looks like Colin will be going home. We do got one run going in. Diego will take second and he's safe. All right, there we go. We broke the game open. Colin Pelosi may have scored the only run in this game.
And I was just getting ready to say, if Middle Creek was to score one run, they would get on a roll, like they have the past games where they scored, you know, runs in each inning. I remember one game, the last game, they scored 2 runs in the first, and then they scored 4 runs the next inning. So let's look for them to keep scoring more runs.
And, you know, again, Diego, as I was just about to say before he hit the ball, he is a freshman, always capable of offensive capability. And Colin Pelosi scores from second base. Middle Creek has their first run on the board.
And up to bat is number 5, Graham Edwards.
Watching Graham swing, he looked like he didn't even put all his power into that. Definitely was something that he needs to do to get this ball in play, especially with a pitcher of his caliber that he's facing.
Yeah, and you know, Graham noted for not being the best hitter on the team, not the best swing, but he will surprise you sometimes. He will get a few hits into the gap here and there, and really that's all you ask for a predominantly pitching player.
As we got a 1-1 count, Graham just needs to get this ball in play. Even a little blooper will draw Diego in. And he'll foul that one where nobody may see that ball again, so to speak. It's always, you know, everybody gets a little caught off guard looking for a foul ball that's never going to come back down. Diego on second with a pretty big lead. Graham just needs to put the ball in play. That's really the only thing that we need right now.
Yeah, and with Middle Creek scoring a run and maybe potentially 2 here, it's going to be up to Jimmy to hold the Hough Huskies to 0 or low runs.
And Graham will be out on that one, but advances Diego. Now it's all up to Blake Hunley. And Blake really hasn't shown much of his skill, I guess, so to speak. Hasn't really put the ball into play so much. Definitely has the speed, but he more, leans towards the bunt. And that's not something you always want to do, is lean towards the bunt. You want to put this ball in play. You want to show the pitcher that you're not scared.
Yeah, and Graham Edwards there, you're taught not to slide at the first base, but I feel like that was a situation where that would have been appropriate, as the first baseman ended up tagging him as opposed to tagging the base. And I feel like if he would have slid, he would have avoided the tag right there.
Yeah. Blake will watch that one in for a call strike 1, and this one he'll swing on. So it's an 0-2 count. Pretty much the pitcher can throw anything he wants, knowing that Blake will or just might as well swing away. You got a 1-0 lead, but you don't want to leave that man stranded on third, as he fouls that one back at us.
And we already got the one run to put us ahead in this game, and that's important. But I think what might be even more important here is getting the second run, getting our insurance run, just for whatever happens if Jimmy starts giving up hits, starts giving up walks, which he hasn't shown signs of doing. But
and that's a called strike 3.
So after the top of the 5th, Middle Creek draws first blood, scoring 1 run off 1 hit and 1 walk. So they have the lead right here. When we come back, Hough Huskies are going to have their chance to bat, and they still have no hits, so that's something to watch. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching the Sports Block. And we are back with the Sports Block. It's the bottom of the 5th inning. Middle Creek is leading 1-0 right now, as the Hough Huskies have no hits so far in this game. And they're going to have to start producing if they don't want Jimmy to totally shut them down this game.
And up to bat now is number 17, Settles, which is the DH.
And one thing is Jimmy, you can't really predict what he's going to do next, because he's got control of the inning. He's got control of the game. He controls the game. He picks the speed at what he wants it to go. And as it looks right now, Jimmy wants this game to go by quick. He wants to get into tomorrow. He wants that championship ring.
And we are only 50 minutes into the game, and we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. It is only 8:50 right now, so this is definitely a fast game and a fast broadcast.
Especially being that in high school baseball they only play 7, unless you 10-run rule them, obviously. But Jimmy really is keeping this game under his control, as that'll be the second ball fouled off. So wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy goes fastball here, but you can never predict what Jimmy's going to do next.
Yeah, that's what's something that is so great about Jimmy. Instead of just rifling fastballs, down the plate the entire game, he's been mixing his speeds, changing his locations, and he's just been keeping the Husky batters off.
As he gets him with that one for a called strike 3.
And that is a great example of that right there. Just made him swing like he probably did not intend to swing. He was fishing for that one.
And now up is number 20, Daddio.
Now, he's the catcher. He should know, especially what placement, where he needs to put his bat, especially how he knows best how the umpire's calling it.
Yeah, that's something catchers will pick up on. And Jimmy threw a curveball, looked like right there. That might have caught the outside corner of the plate. Umpire calls it a ball, though.
as that one's low. For a called ball, too. Jimmy Roos really needs to take a breather, get his mind right, get the ball over the plate. We'll see what he does here as he winds up and throws it. And he'll get him swinging. Graham will call that one off. Get it to Jimmy. There's another out right there.
And now coming up to bat is number 10, Bernardo.
And, you know, Jimmy really is going to shut this game down.
Next, number 10, right fielder.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for the past, I'm going to say 5 innings. No hits. Could, you know, probably potentially be the first no-hitter that Middle Creek has ever seen in a championship game. But then again, Middle Creek has never seen a championship game. So,
and, knock on wood right there.
Yeah. But Jimmy really, I think it was a great idea for Thompson to pitch Jimmy right then and there.
Yeah, you know, Jimmy being our ace, you want to jump out in this series. You want to get a lead. You want to have that insurance second game that we could potentially play tomorrow. And so far, it's panned out for Coach Thompson right here.
And even, you know, you throw Graham in there tomorrow. Graham's something that they've never seen. Graham has definitely got the off-speed pitches, definitely got the fastball, definitely has the movement. He's an all-around great pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, he is a totally different look from what we are seeing from Jimmy. Graham is a left-handed pitcher who has tremendous movement on all of his pitches, including his fastball, and doesn't quite throw as hard as Jimmy does. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, how the Huskies handle Graham now that, you know, they're completely getting dominated by Jimmy right now.
And Jimmy will throw that one straight over the plate for a fastball. As you hear the glove pop, 2-2 count with 2 outs. Jimmy really needs to get ahead of him here, get this one swinging, fishing for something. Here's the pitch. As he gets him swinging, another 1-2-3 inning for Jimmy Boyd.
That is 5 consecutive 1-2-3 innings, and going into the 6th, Hough has no hits so far. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When you come back, it's going to be Middle Creek's at bat. We are winning, as in the Mustangs are winning 1-0. You're watching the Sports Block.
All right, welcome back. Here we are, top of the 6th, top of the order for the Middle Creek Mustangs. Middle Creek does have a 1-0 lead over Hough, and Scholars will swing that one straight down the short. Definitely has speed, but didn't have the speed to beat that one, especially being that their first baseman is 6'8", so imagine what his reach would be with his lunge and everything.
Yeah, and you know, Tyler Scholler playing third base today made that great diving catch for the ground ball thrown out from his knees. So definitely a top player from Middle Creek today in this game.
And you know, here's our top player of the game right now, Jimmy Boyd, definitely shutting Hough down. As he'll lean into that and watch it go for a call ball. Jimmy, he usually is a designated hitter. He is a switch hitter. But he prefers left side, and you know, left side's working for him because he's crushing the ball.
Yeah, you know, he started off with our first of 2 hits so far this game. Middle Creek has 2 hits and 1 walk, and neither teams have made any errors so far, so this has been an all-around solid game.
As Jimmy will swing away, that one's hit to left field, but immediately tracked down If Jimmy would have put a little bit more juice in that, who knows what would have happened. It would have definitely bounced off the Blue Monster.
And number 19, Keenan Harris, is up to bat now.
Yeah, and if you notice, after he hit that ball, it started slicing down towards the left field sideline and left field foul line. And it's actually a difficult catch for the left fielder just because it's hard to judge when the ball is going to keep tailing towards the line.
So if it hits the Blue Monster and it bounces off, that it's in play, right?
Yes.
If the outfielder catches the ball, though, it is not an out.
All right.
So because the wall has obstructed the flat ball.
As Keenan fouls that one back, I still jump a little bit when it's fouled back here, even though we got the net protecting us. Keenan, he really hasn't showed what he's capable of doing here because nothing's really been put in play towards him, and he hasn't put anything in play. But Keenan is, one great player.
Yeah, hits the ball pretty shallow, actually.
As that one's good, and he's going to go for two. With the speed he's got it.
And that is hustle that Coach Thompson loves to teach. Even if it's a pop ball, even if it's out of play, you run that one out, and that definitely pays off for Keenan Herring right there as he turns what looked like would have been an easy out into a double.
Going back to Keenan, being such a great player, he's really versatile too. I mean, he's made two pretty much game-saving plays at the end of the game where they needed him to catch that ball in the outfield. When he dove and catch it to end the game, those are two phenomenal plays.
As the catcher, Nick Daddio, is out there talking, saying that he never touched first or something. I don't know. They're trying to pull something just to get that hit taken away.
And, it's not always, scheming or whatnot, trying to get the batter out unfairly. Sometimes coaches feel like they didn't touch the bag, and they will peel over the first base to see if the umpire noticed it too. Umpire, usually if he doesn't notice, he'll call him safe, and most of the time they will touch the bag and the coaches just have a bad angle on it.
And Austin Parker swings to that one first pitch. He definitely, he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders right here with 2 outs, man on second, especially with Keenan's speed. Hit it in the gap, hit a blooper, you got a second run, you got a comfortable lead. And Austin Parker will foul that one back towards his own dugout. 0-2 count. He definitely has to be swinging here because right now the pitcher's got Austin thinking that, I got to hit this ball, and the pitcher could throw it anywhere, high, inside, completely out of the batter's box, and he's got to swing. And Keenan will take third easily. Catcher doesn't even throw it down to him. Now he's got a lot more weight on his shoulders here because Austin needs to put this ball in play.
Yeah, and with the way Middle Creek, Jimmy Boyd has been dominating on the mound, an extra run may not be necessary for this game, but it is definitely helpful.
And Austin will put that into play right down the middle, and we got another run, comfortable lead. Austin will stay at first. Hough has probably never really seen something like this happen.
Yeah, Hough, it looked like early in the game they were just going to dominate us with their pitching. But as you see, going through the order a few times, or it seems like only one time, we're coming right back. We've seen him, we've seen what he got, and we're making adjustments appropriately.
And, they know what he's throwing. They have every idea of what he's throwing, as we do now have 4 hits on the game. 2 runs, and David will swing at that one. Looked a little high there. And it's a 1-1 count. You got Austin on first. Doesn't really have the speed to steal a base, but...
And then again, this isn't exactly a stealing situation with 2 outs.
He really didn't even have to slide on that one, being that he's so tall.
And, you might have heard our... little fan section over behind our dugout on the third baseline, all yelling back, which is something you love to see, getting crowd involvement in this game.
That one's a called strike. Very questionable, I guess you could say. But David really has to watch the plate now. He needs to put this ball in play. That's definitely ideal for any player. That's another inning right there for the Middle Creek Mustangs, but we did go up another run. 2 runs, 4 hits, and when we come back, Hough will get their chance to go ahead and see if they can get a comeback going. You're watching the Sports Block.
back with the sports block. It is the bottom of the 6th inning, and Middle Creek is winning 2-0 over the Hough Huskies. And you know what? Jimmy has not given up a hit here in this ball game. And with the way that he's been dominating batters, I do not expect him to give up any hits this inning either.
No, and that's one good thing. I'm sorry, PJ.
No,
that's one thing. Jimmy, if he keeps us a no-hitter, that's going down in history.
And, you know, you hate to say he might have the no-hitter, but it's kind of hard not to mention with the way he's been pitching.
Exactly. As we'll throw that one for a called strike, looking at it like, did that even go by me? Jimmy Boyd's got the speed. He's got the versatility. He could do whatever on the mound. He could even play third base. Definitely one great hitter. So he's just an all-around great ball player. Middle Creek's very lucky to have him on varsity all 4 years of his high school career. And this is definitely his last series as a Middle Creek Mustang.
Yeah, and, you know, Coach Thompson's mentioned to newspapers that Jimmy's maturity level since his, first 3 seasons, all of them combined, his first 3 seasons, multiply that by 2, and you have Jimmy's maturity level his senior year. And I really think that his leadership is what has caused the Middle Creek Mustangs to come this far into the championship game of the state playoffs.
And we spoke too soon as Hough got their first hit of the game. Nothing you can really do on that one, lined right up the middle. So, Jimmy Boy's just got to look at it as, all right, well, this really ain't going to do much to me. I'm going to still handle the game like I've been handling these past 5.5 innings.
Yeah, you only gave up 1 hit. A one-hitter is still notable, and even a shutout is notable. You shut out a team in the championship game series, first game, and that is something to be proud of. The game's not over. Anything can happen, so hate to talk too soon here.
Yeah, Jimmy just needs to put that one behind him and just keep going. I mean, he's been on a roll these first 6 innings. He needs to put that hit behind him.
And it almost seemed like commonplace he gave up on the ball a little bit early there. Did any of you, anybody else notice that? It looked like he just kind of stopped running.
It did, but it didn't. You know what I mean?
I feel like it wasn't going totally up the middle. It was a little bit toward Collins' side. Maybe he could have got the ball, maybe not. But I think everybody in the fan section and the dugout would have liked to see maybe a little bit extra effort put in there, especially to try and save Jimmy Boyd's what was now former no-hitter.
And now number 7, Girding, is up to bat for Hough, and he appears to be batting for Altamira.
And that's a substitution there, so I'm wondering if it's a position switch or they're pulling the pitcher. Many things that you could do here in that situation. But then again, this batter has never seen Jimmy Boyd pitch, so let's see how he handles Jimmy right here.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what Hough does with their pitching. I'm wondering if they're going to leave their current pitcher in and just let him finish out the game, or if maybe they're going to bring in one of their more dominant pitchers to maybe save some damage control here.
And it looks like Jimmy, is trying to catch this guy off of first. He doesn't like having runners on base, evidently, and he almost caught him on that one.
Yeah, I think he's trying to take advantage of the fact that he has not been able to pitch from the stretch so far this game. And basically, base runners do not know what his pickoff moves look like just yet.
They haven't seen it, and they're getting ready to see it here because it looks like each time he's taking a bigger lead. And he's going to go ahead. He's going to take first. I don't know what Graham is doing right there.
He's going to make a turn towards third base, but he's going to hold up at second right there.
That's definitely an error right there on Jimmy and Graham. I don't know why Graham ran towards second when the ball went by him. He definitely should have ran towards...
around first to the right.
Well, he should have ran to the ball.
I think that he just kind of got caught up. They both kind of got caught up, and Graham was trying to get out of his way, but they're kind of pushing towards second.
And you know what? Still no harm done. That's going to count as an error. But, you know what? Both sides right now are cheering very loud. Middle Creek needs to stop here, and Hough needs a hit here, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
And, Jimmy doesn't fold under pressure. He keeps his cool. He keeps the ball over the plate. This batter's never seen him, so he doesn't know what he's capable of doing. We haven't seen their top hitters, especially Will Champion. I haven't seen him at bat at all.
Yeah, and you can easily say he does not fold under pressure. I think what you can say is that he feeds under pressure, and that is just what he's doing right here.
And that call was questionable, I guess you could say. But
Center field, Will Champion.
oh, and here's world champions now. I'm just, that was a questionable call. The stands went wild on that, but Jimmy did get him. Called strike 3, so he's got his head level again.
Yeah, and umpire, I feel like, has been very fair this game. I feel like his strike zones have been reasonable. I don't feel like he's been calling anything one way or another. I really, maybe it's the 4 umpires that have helped this game, but I feel like the officiating in this game has really been phenomenal.
And you know what? You haven't heard much from that the third base umpire or the second base.
Simply because people, frankly, aren't getting on base. There's not much for them to whirl. I mean, Middle Creek has 4 hits and a walk, but past that, Hough only has 1 hit, and ultimately only 6 people have been on base so far in 5.5 innings.
As that one's fouled back. He does have 2 strikes on him, so he does have to protect the plate. No balls, man on second, 1 out. Jimmy's definitely handling this very well, better than most pitchers would.
Yeah, and I think they're going to keep him in for the, provided that he gets these next 2 outs. They're going to keep him in for this last inning just to simply close out the game because, as I've been repeating, he has just been dominant so far. He's only given up 1 hit, and, he threw the ball kind of wild over first base. But, that's just been a blemish on his overall great performance so far this game.
And that last pitch you've seen right there was questionable, but I guess you could say the catcher standing up definitely didn't help the situation. It interferes with the umpire's judgment as that one was fouled down the left field line. Jimmy's definitely got this guy swinging, trying to stay alive, and he hasn't seen Jimmy really throw a curveball yet. So,
yeah, and great job by the hitter just staying alive. I mean, of course you want the hit, but it's always important with 2 strikes to keep fouling balls off and make him pitch to something you can hit. I guess umpire did not feel like he could hit that one there as he calls it a ball.
2-2 count. Jimmy's just got to take a little breather, get his mind right. Got to get, real comfortable throwing in the stretch. He hasn't done it all game. That one's fouled back. I wish there honestly was a rule on foul balls, like how many you can foul off before you're out.
But you know what? That's part of the game, and numerous times hitters have gone into double-digit counts just because, and it helps, bringing out starting pitchers as dominant as Jimmy coming out here and just shutting teams down. They want to see a new pitcher because Jimmy's pitch count's gotten too high.
And that one's ripped, but it's going foul.
Salmon not going to be able to make a play.
And, this may be the longest inning that we have seen tonight.
Yeah, and it seems like this game has come and gone already. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and it has only been an hour and 11 minutes of game time. I'm not sure if that's official. We're just going off the clock in center field. But, either way, it has just flown by.
And, Jimmy's asking for another ball right now. Wants something clean. So, Jimmy just needs to get the ball to where he's swinging, get us out of this inning so we can come back and dominate in the 7th. As, both sides are going a little nuts over here. And he'll pop that one up. Blake Hunley make the catch. We got 2 outs. Jimmy is really going to handle this one well as we're going to reach the top of the order.
And getting that out right there is pretty big, considering that if we give up a run, they have the chance of coming back in the bottom of the 7th and potentially tying this game. So keeping a two advantage over this Hough team is huge for the Mustangs.
And number 2, Sobo, is up for the Hough Huskies.
And, he's seen Jimmy multiple times, so he knows how Jimmy is. And he's going to foul that one straight back at us. Everybody's sitting back there. Got a little scared, jumped, threw their hands in the air, and didn't realize we got a net in front of us.
And I cannot say that we have not done that before.
No, everybody has. Jimmy looks like he's going to favor the fastball just to get us out of the inning. But you never know with him. Like I said, he's unpredictable.
And there you go, curveball right there in the dirt.
see if he can get the guy going. You got Schuller on third, who can make a play worth anything, so he's not too worried about this guy stealing, especially because it's not that long of a throw from home to third. As he gets a called strike right there.
Strike. A little bit of a delayed call right there. I thought it was a ball at first, but counts now 1-2.
And Jimmy's just he wants to get out of this inning. He wants to sit down, get his mind together for that 7th. And there it is. That's the inning.
And Jimmy's giving a bit of a fist pump right there as he is pumped, ready to go. Middle Creek is up by 2, and when we come back to the top of the 7th, and they're going to have another opportunity to strike again. So right now, 2-0. You're watching the Sports Block. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And welcome back to the Sports Block. It is the top of the 7th inning, and Middle Creek has the chance to score another insurance run or two here, as they are leading 2-0. And so far, Middle Creek's offense was a little slow out of the gate. Coming into these middle innings, they've really stepped up and started to produce.
And it looks like their pitcher is starting to get a little tired. Definitely his ERA is going up, as he's got the best ERA on the team, as Pelosi will line that one, or ground that one down to short, and it's a called out, kind of questionable.
You're talking about his reach too. It looks like his height advantage helped him out on that one, so he could just extend there and keep his leg and catch the ball at the same time.
I thought it was kind of odd that he went down to his knees, though, when he probably could have reached instead of kind of fell down.
Well, that's the thing, is that's a questionable call for an umpire to make. He's got a better view than we do.
Actually, it's just the opposite. We have a better view than he did. He was on the opposite side of the
And Diego will take that one for a double. What a rip down right field line over his head. Definitely got that started first pitch right there. Diego driving in. He drove in the run last inning, right?
Yeah, that was him.
So Diego driving in that run last inning really brought us out here. I'm ready to score another run.
Yeah, I mean, Diego hit that ball pretty deep. I'd say about maybe 310, maybe 315. His right field is about 325 over there. It was high, and the right fielder was playing over to the left enough for that ball to drop, and it results in a stand-up double.
And here we are with a. Looks like we got a little batting change here. It's Alex Williams stepping up to bat.
Number 8.
Now batting, number 8, Alex Williams.
And I have not seen Alex hit this entire game. Bomb in the 7th is either going to make or break them here in this playoff series.
It's definitely going to make or break them.
So you guys stay tuned. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching the Sports Block.
All right, welcome back, folks. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. You didn't miss much, so to speak. It's the bottom of the 7th. Middle Creek still got a 2-0 lead. Jimmy Boyd's still on the mound. See if we can finish this game out and take the win home. This is, going to be an amazing game right here.
Yeah, definitely an amazing finish to a game that probably wasn't going to be played. The officials here at Goodman Field over here in Durham, they changed their mind, so the game's back on, and now here we are at 9:23, and Jimmy's looking to close this game out.
And number 5, Buchanan, is up to bat.
As that one's just fouled right back to his dugout. Jimmy, one thing he's got to do right here, speaking from experience, get ahead of the game, keep the ball low, don't throw anything wild, and you'll get us out of the inning and potentially win the game right here.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good advice. You're not looking to do anything fancy here. You've pretty much owned the other team almost all night, and I think what you're really looking for here is to make the batters put the ball in play, even strike them out, and let your defense do some work.
As that one's fouled, out of play. Jimmy's ahead of him here, and tries to throw a curve, but that one a little high and outside. Jimmy, especially facing a left-handed batter, one thing I know from experience with left-handed batters, keep it inside. That's the hardest pitch for them to hit, and that he does right there, but he just has to pick it up a little bit as he falls back to a full count. Jimmy right here, he just needs to take a few seconds, get his arm right, get his mind right, pull us out of this game. I know it's exciting, it's the championship, and there it is right here as that one's fouled.
I think it was pretty funny that the third base coach right there almost hit directly at him. He did not even flinch.
Not at all. I would have jumped, ducked, dipped, and dived right there.
He wasn't even phased.
Yeah, I would have stopped, dropped, and rolled, That ball set me on fire going by so fast.
So here it is, potentially the last pitch of this batter, and
I
don't agree with that call whatsoever.
That looked like it was a solid strike, but umpire, I guess, disagrees with us, as there's a runner on first base in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And this brings number 23, Piedmont, up to bat.
This is a very dangerous situation for Middle Creek because he is a power hitter. I mean, even though with that Tommy John surgery, he's shown he can hit the ball.
He does have a .373 batting average on the season, which isn't the best, but it's better than what most high school players can get. Jimmy just has to contain the man on first, and just get the runner, get the guy at home out. The runner on first could advance all the way to third if he wants, but we're going to turn a double play here. Routine double play to get us 2 outs right here. Jimmy definitely kept his cool right there as Diego and Pelosi really made the play right there. It's not a big surprise that you see this at Middle Creek.
And this brings number 17, the DH, Settles, up to bat.
And this is potentially the last out of the entire game. Middle Creek, if they get this out, they're going to go 1-up in the best-of-3 series. The game tomorrow is going to be at 2 o'clock here at Goodman Field in Durham.
As he said he didn't swing, right here it looked like he pulled it a little bit farther than what you would think. But that's nothing to Jimmy. We got 1 ball on him, potentially the last out. The Creek Crazies are on their feet. They're ready. They want to bring a championship home as much as anybody does. And, especially the seniors on the team, any ball player that has played for Middle Creek wishes this was them out there right now.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was listening to I was in the dugout last week, listening to past players, and they were very jealous of the people this year that they couldn't do this a couple years ago when they were playing.
And Jimmy's up on him with 2 strikes. This could potentially be the last strike of the game and the win for Middle Creek. And the pitch, outside. Jimmy's got to calm down. It's a 2-2 count, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, we're up 2-0. No runners on. This right here very well may be the last pitch of the game. And the pitch is hit, and Graham Edwards will make the catch. That's the game for Middle Creek. We will take it. We are up 1-0 in the series. Tomorrow's game will be played at 2 o'clock here. So I think we're going to go to a quick commercial break. Middle Creek won the game 2-0. And you're watching the Sports Block.
Nothing.
All right, welcome back from our commercial break right here. Middle Creek won the first of the best of 3 game series right here with #1 win, winning 2-0. Jimmy Boyd threw a one-hitter. Not very well seen at Middle Creek or in high school baseball whatsoever.
Yeah, you know, in a league dominated by aluminum bats and, you know, power hitting, it's very rare that you see a one-hit shutout. I think Jimmy only gave up, if he did give up, 1 walk, and there was an error in the field, which was a throwing error, and he just did not let the Hough team get on base, and that was a huge part of this ball game because Middle Creek goes down early, and it might be a totally different outcome than what we have right here.
Definitely, and you know, tomorrow's game is going to be at 2 o'clock, so it's going to be interesting because you're going to see Graham Edwards pitching. And, you know, you hear the fans from Middle Creek behind us right here. Jimmy Boyd definitely took the game here, only allowing 1 hit. No runs scored. Our first run scored was, in fact, Colin Pelosi.
Yeah.
So, you know, Middle Creek really took control of the game. And I tell you what, this is just a great experience for all high school students to witness.
Yeah, you guys tune in here around 2 o'clock tomorrow. I'm sorry, we do not broadcast live, but you guys check out this game on sportsblock.net. We're gonna call it a good night, and you guys have a good night as well.
Thank you for watching the Sports Block.